How's it going, guys? We are back with another video here, and this video is going to be on the best settings to use in NHL 25 HUT. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe if you have not already. Want to go over the camera settings and everything you need to really know I think are the best settings to use. To change these settings, you have to go over to this section here, all the way to My Team, go to Settings, and then you want to go over to, you have the audio and visual settings, you have the controller settings, and you have the on-ice trainer settings, okay? So for me, guys, I am going to start with the on-ice trainer section here, and for the most part, I recommend having everything off. I don't really think it's important to have any of these on unless you're very new to the game. If you're a newer player, totally can understand why you'd like to have some of these things on. One that maybe I'd potentially recommend putting on is the offside warning. It can be pretty nice, like just to kind of like quickly warn you when offside is about to happen. I mean, that's the only one I can really think of. Maybe be like decent if you're like a veteran type player that's played the game for a lot of years, but in general, I don't really think any of these should be on. HUT objectives, honestly, these can get a little annoying, but if you're someone that really likes to focus on how your objectives are going, and if you're close to being, you know, done with them, definitely would keep it on. But other than that, I don't really see any of these being like super important to have activated. I really don't, or have on, so I will leave everything else off. Next up, we'll look at the controller settings here. So looking at my controller settings, so I prefer skill stick still, okay? So the reason why I like skill stick still is I don't want to accidentally press buttons and start just doing random deeks. And it's more of just a thing that I'm used to. Probably total control is really better in general, especially for newer players, because I mean, it's just everything can be done with a button, right? Pretty much like deeks wise as well. I also don't like the line change button, like what you have to do to change lines on total control. So it's just a little things like that for me it's just not making me want to use total control. But I mean, I definitely think total control is a great option, but I prefer skill stick. Auto backskate must be off. Doesn't matter what controller setting you're using, total control, skill stick, hybrid, you gotta use auto backskate off. It just has to be. Shooting control is always up. Vibration. Vibration you can probably put on off. I mean, if you guys want to play with it on, you can definitely put it on, but I put it off. I used to actually always play with vibration on, but not anymore. Online pass assist, I'll put that on 99. I feel like when you put it on 100, it could be a little bit, you know, maybe too much, where like it auto locks onto every player that you don't want it to, or it just kind of messes up your pass. I feel like putting on 99, you know, just so it's not 100% pass assist, right? Like it could be, you know, a little bit different here as well. Goalie controls, definitely going to want to leave it on default. Human goalie covers, keep that on auto. Hug post, you want that to be on manual. And tether, you're going to want that to be off, because realistically, those goalie settings, they can be pretty annoying if you have tether on, let me tell you, because tether makes playing goalie very challenging. So I definitely recommend turning that off, and definitely recommend leaving these settings the way they are now, because I feel like it can make a huge difference, auto backskate being on, and then you could also have a huge issue with the pass assist. So keep in mind all that. If you have any questions about the controller settings, let me know. And for the audio and visual settings here, so when it comes to auto zoom, I put that off usually. Camera, overhead, I think overhead is the best camera setting still. I know some people like classic. I mean, that's not bad either, but for me, I think overhead's the best one. You see kind of everything you need to see on the ice. I feel like there's not really times where I'm like, oh, I couldn't see, or, you know, just bad angles of what I should be seeing. I think that's why overhead is pretty good. Prefer up, definitely, for camera perspective. Skater fatigue indicator on. Player indicator size, I leave it on medium, I mean, at this point, because, I mean, back in the day, it used to be too big, but now I put it on medium. Player indicator, yeah, we'll just leave that on. Pressure meter, I think is important to have on, especially in HUT. If you're like a franchise mode player, I feel like probably it's worth turning that off. I do think, though, regardless, probably around the boards, it still says pressure is active, right? So maybe it's not that big of a deal. But goal anticipation indicator, all of these I think are pretty much fine to have on. Fighting instructions can be on. Goalie camera, you're going to want that to be on. You don't want that to be on, I believe, fixed. Yeah, I think fixed is on. Yeah, you're going to want it to be on fixed. So leave it on fixed. Defensive positioning, yeah, you can leave that off. Offensive positioning, you can leave that on, I would say. Puck highlight, I leave it on medium as well. I think that's kind of good. Puck size, normal as well. I mean, I used to like make this like smaller back in the day when I used to play, but I feel like it's not that important really to do that. Score clock overlay, authentic. Yep, that is perfect. Shootout camera. I'd say probably just leave it on dynamic low. I mean, that's usually what I leave it on it, and it gets it done for the most part. And then volume settings, that's really all just up to you, right? I mean, there's really there's no best setting for volume, right? It's all just up to you. So I would recommend that. If you have any other questions, guys, let me know when it comes to the best settings. I mean, I feel like these are the best settings. It all just depends on, you know, your preference for some of these as well. But in the end, I feel like these are all pretty useful to know. So let me know if you have any questions. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you have not already, and follow me on Twitch, Henreek. I'm live every single day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.